What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Of course, it's your boy Eileo, and today we have another account review. But since this one fits my criteria that I set a while ago of being over level 55, it is eligible for a full account review, and that is what my boy Manaskin has asked. By the way, I will include Manaskin's YouTube channel in the link below. He does MSL videos off and on, not too much, but when he does, they're way better than my videos just in general. So shout out to Manaskin if you guys haven't checked out his account. But let's go ahead and dive right into this account, boys. Alright, so starting off here, I haven't looked at any of the mons or anything like that. Because first I want to slide over here to PvP and maybe see what you're working with in terms of PvP. And also, yeah, we're going to take a look at your PvP teams. Not only your attack, but your defense as well. And since Titans is up, which is a great timing as well, we're going to take a quick look at those. Then we're going to slide over there to the Astromon. But alright, so let's take a look at your team real quick. So for right now, you're rocking a Light Yuki, 2 Drakas, and a Dark Tiana. So wave clearers galore, and especially with Yuki, because right now it's special season, so I'm assuming that you're going to change it when it's not special season. Essentially, she comes out and hopefully can shock everyone, or at least shock 2 out of 4 mons, and then everyone else, hopefully someone can survive. If not, someone dies, but you still have at least 2 other wave clearers right there. So very simple, but also very, very efficient, and nothing wrong with that at all. PvP sucks because too much crit resist. And then for your defense team here, we have Light Siegfried, Light Yuki, and then Draka, your Dark Cupid as a shielder, and then also a hidden Draka as well. So it's like, okay, you killed my Draka, congratulations, you played yourself. Try and kill the other one, dude. Try and kill the other one. Rest in peace. But it is what it is. Once again, I'm no PvP expert right here, but if it works, it works, and that Fire Draka is actually punishing, but this is for special season. So once again, I'm sure if you're more of a PvP type guy than I am, you're gonna switch that out. But that was the PvP team. Let's go over here to Titans real quick and see what we're working with. Alright, so even though these are all blocked out, we can get an idea of what your composition is. It looks like you're running a Fire Mildew, Fire Shinobi, Fire Wukong, then Dark Cupid for your Wood Titan team, and then Fire Wukong, Fire Shinobi, and then Baby Shark and Fire Pandora for your right upper part of your Titans team. And then for the bottom left lane, you have a Wood Yuki, Fire Cherry, Fire Poseidon, and Fire Candling. And then for the bottom right, you're rocking a Fire Cherry, 2 Fire Wukongs at Evo 2, and then a Light Baby Shark. Pretty solid. I don't have any idea what your damage is, but I'm sure it was a solid team. For your water team, so for Fire Titan, we can see what he's rocking right here. I'm not going to list them off just because I will be doing a lot of talking during this segment, and in order to at least save part of my vocal cords, I will just show you guys what he's working with right here. Yeah, I figured there wasn't any second or third teams. That one's for Fire Titan. This one over here is for water. Nothing for light. And this one right here is for dark, which from my understanding, I just use light and dark as the same team. Nukers, of course Baby Shark, then debuffers, and of course the heals with Hana. And there's only one, it's a one pump chump team, which is understandable. But yeah, those are the Titan teams. I figured I would just stop by and take a look at those since, you know, not every day when you're doing a review Titans pops up. But I don't think there's anything else ready to look at as far as this is concerned other than golems. So obviously you can do Colossus. I would definitely hope so at this point, but not sure what golems that you were running, but maybe you were running B11. But actually, let's go ahead and just run this for science, boys. I mean, we have the account up. This is a account review. The best way to get an idea of the account review is to see how well they perform. Oh god, these freaking synergies. Curious as to why Dark Cupid is there for the shield. Is he just... Maybe he's just there to take aggro away from Tina so she doesn't die. Alright, it's boss time. Your time seems fine. Nothing out of the ordinary right here. And again, I'm not sure if this is for B11 or for anything. Maybe it was for B10. Who knows? I just figured I would put it in. Maybe it's for B15. Once again, who knows? They're doing some damage to him though. That's a lot of damage. Especially Dark Tina bringing in some blows, boys. But I mean, honestly, considering the Brawl Root Force, 141 isn't by any means super duper slow. I'm sure if better RNG that could come down to. But I'm not sure if that was his B11 team. Not a big deal if it wasn't. I was just for science. I'm going to go ahead and sell that one because it's not going to do you any good. But let's go over here and check out the Mon box, which is what you have come for, Mana. Oh, we got to go ahead and change this though. And boys, I got to do it. I got to do the element. Element just makes me super duper happy. But let's go over here and dive right into things. So for Fire Leo, looks like you're working on enhancing him. You actually have a F-word bunch of Mons that are enhanced. Way more than me already. Even just this first page already, way more than me, which is probably why you probably outdamage me in Titans as well, but it is what it is. Fire Leo over here is on a broken set. He's rocking crit rate, HP, 20% crit rate on that. That's pretty fat. And then an attack gem, which is okay. It's okay. I'm not sure if you currently use him or not because he doesn't have any trinkets on him, so I would assume maybe, maybe not, but he is fully booked up, so maybe at some point in time you're using him. But I mean, just having him with max crit rate is pretty fine for him. He doesn't need anything super duper amazing. Obviously something like Ruin would be like the best damage output for him, but again, if you use him, that's something to consider in the future, even though Ruin gems are hard. But if you don't use him, it means nothing at all. And then we have one of your Fire Jackers over here. It looks like you're trying to work on a Pugilist set, if that's it. But your Fire Jack is totally enhanced out. Let's go over here to these enhancements real quick. So, defense, crit resist, crit damage, HP, and resist. So you're trying to offset some of the damage and give your Drac a little bit more stability with taking damage and being able to take hits. Because while it's okay to be a Berserker, if you die, there's no point you being a Berserker because you're not alive. But for the gems, you have an attack gem, a little bit of resist up there, a whole bunch of crit rate, a fat amount of crit rate, and then a crit rate gem, and then another attack gem with some crit damage up there, some resist, and some crit rate as well. And then we have some trinkets. You have some glowing ones apparently. Add some HP and some crit resist. Some crit damage and some resist up there, so that's where the extra resist is coming from. I was curious. And then some more crit resist. Overall, I think it's fine. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of crit rate attack on Draka because I feel like triple attack out damages it. But it looks like you may be working towards a Pugilist set, so if you're one away from Pugilist, it doesn't really matter at that point in time. So yeah, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And then Fire Ramu over here, who you actually have decked out on a Pugilist set. I'm assuming that you use this dude for like the Nat 3 League. He's rocking attack with 17% resist up there. He has an HP gem with 12.5% attack and then 22% crit rate up there. Though I could have sworn they dropped his crit rate requirement. Yeah, they did. They did. It's just up there. I mean, you can't help it. You can't help it at all. And then a defense gem with some resist and some attack up there as well. So he should actually be pretty decent. Because he's AoE, right? Yeah, he's AoE and he can heal everyone. And he also has SP Siphon, so he can not only siphon a Mon, but in the off chance that Pugilist actually works, he can also stun them. That's pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. 65% resist on him as well. Definitely nothing you can't handle with that fire Ramu. Fire Kindling, he's fully booked up. It looks like he's just on basic gems just as a survivor for Titans, because as a debuffer, his damage really doesn't matter. But he's rocking an HP gem with a little bit of crit rate up there and some defense. Another HP gem with a little bit of resist and some fat amount of attack up there with a little bit of crit damage. And then a defense gem with some resist. He has some recovery action and some HP. I think these are just thrown up there just for him to survive, because it's purely a bruiser build, and that's fine. As a debuffer, it is what it is. Fire Neza over here is built more as a debuffing build as well. I can already tell you that, because there's no trinkets up there, and it's not really important since they're on the left lane, especially as a tank type. That shouldn't be priority number one with trinkets if you had extras anyways. But she has a defense gem with a fat amount of attack up there, even though she's a tank type. And then an HP gem with some crit rate up there, 15%, 7% attack. And then an HP gem with some defense up there, 11.5% defense for that sub. Once again, it's more of just a survivability build. Like I said before, I could tell just by looking at her already that that's her only goal. She's just there, and if I remember correctly, I don't even think I saw her on your Titans team anymore. I've already forgotten in these like 12 minutes. But I don't even think I saw her on the Titans team, so maybe she was used at some point in time, but she's null and void now. Understandable. And then we have your Fire Cherry over here, which you have two of those, and one is rocking some fat resist, so I'm going to skip over that second one for obvious reasons right here, but they are both booked up, so you definitely use them somewhere, which, I mean, it's not hard to guess where, but got an HP gem with some fat resist up there and some recovery. A recovery gem with fat amount of resist, boys. 32% resist up there, dude. And even a decent sub of 13.5% defense. Disgusting. That is a fat gem, dude. Holy crap. And then another defense gem with some recovery and crit rate, just to make sure she can get her freaking active off reliably. Nothing wrong with that. And 67% resist. That right there is poggers. You have your not wood squirrels, your fire squirrels over here, fully booked up with that attack down action, and he's on an HP set. I'm not sure if you currently use him either, but we're gonna take a look at him anyways. HP gem with some attack up there. Rest really isn't worth mentioning. Defense gem with a little bit of recovery and some resist up there, but again, really nothing worth mentioning. And then another defense gem with no subs worth mentioning. So maybe at some point in time you use them, but you no longer use them. Once again, I can't remember what your Titans team looked like. Fire Pandora is next though, and we can already see right here she's rocking almost 80% resist right off the bat, and she is on a conviction set though, so no surprise there. But she's rocking a defense gem with 17% resist. She does have crit rate, but why does she need crit rate? Not like you can control subs. No one can control Tina. She has a recovery gem with some resist up there as well. Not as fat as that freaking Fire Cherry's resist, but it's decent. And then HP gem with some resist up there as well. Understandable the way that you built her, especially with that recovery gem, just to help her get her SP up and make it reliable, because even though she's a recovery type, you want to make sure she can do her job properly and not F the squad. And then we have Fire Mildew over here with, he's rocking 51% resist. A little bit of trinkets on him, but nothing too amazing. And I was looking at the enhancements, so I was like, did I skip any? And I was like, okay, never mind. I didn't really. But Fire Mildew, my dog's over here growling. Fire Mildew over here is rocking a defense gem with a fat recovery sub of 21% and 16% resist up there as well. An HP gem with some recovery, 7.5%, and there's some crit rate, even though that doesn't matter. And then another recovery gem up here with 15% resist. So the main goal right here, boys, is to make sure that not only does Fire Mildew survive, but Fire Mildew does what Fire Mildew is supposed to do when he needs to do it. And of course, that's healing the squad and making sure that attack up is applied. So looks like he definitely gets the job done. Next up though is your Fire Wukong, who is on a leech set. Actually, that's pretty poggers. Resist right there is 57%. And then he has a fat amount of crit rate up there, dude. 93% crit rate, bro. 93% crit rate. Let's take a look at his enhancements real quick, though. So he has defense up there, defense percent, HP percent, defense flat, crit damage, and then attack as well. I'm curious to see if with the last one, if you're maybe trying to go for crit rate, or are you hoping to get that from somewhere else and maybe squeeze out a little bit there. But honestly, I mean, 93% already is pretty darn fat, especially on a leech set. But he's rocking a crit rate gem, and then an attack gem with 21.5% crit rate, which is pretty poggers. Like I said before, some crit damage action, a little bit of resist, and then for his other gem, so he's rocking crit rate, attack. He has 21% resist, a little bit of crit rate up there, and a little bit of crit damage as well. For his trinkets, the Phantasmal, decent HP, a little bit of crit resist up there, as always nice. Attack gem with some crit damage up there, some decent resist. Then of course a crit rate gem, but it's only 4 stars. But once again, like, getting amazing trinkets is a science in itself. Next up here though is your Fire Draka, who is on a Ruin set. That makes me moist, man, not gonna lie to you. But let's check out the enhancements first. So for the enhancements, you have attack percent, crit damage, crit resist, HP flat, HP percentage, and then attack. So this is full DPS Draka right there. I didn't see any crit rate up there, but once again, not a big deal because you're already at 96%, which I'm assuming that you do have a crit rate gem on Draka, which is perfectly fine. But let's take a look. So crit rate, 23% resist up there, on a little bit of defense to help Draka take some blows. The attack gem has 16% crit rate. Get out of here, you freaking gnat, before I do stuff off this video camera to you that you guys don't want to know about. Then 10% resist up there, and then another attack gem with 16% crit rate, and then 7% resist, which, I mean, there's not a ton of resist here, but when you add up everything all together, if you're sitting at freaking 73%, that is a thumbs up, sir. That is a thumbs up. Once again, I mentioned before earlier, I'm not a big fan of crit rate, attack, especially on an RGB that doesn't need crit rate. But if it's on Ruin, I can't complain. I cannot complain at all. But we have this HP trinket over here, adding some HP to Draka, and of course defense and some crit resist. And then this glowing magicite of Chaos, aka Chaos, has some crit damage up there, 15.4% and 13% resist. Pretty nice. And then another crit rate, well, not crit rate gem, but another crit resist addition as well with some HP, some decent amount of defense and a little bit of flat attack. But that is a nice Draka. That is a nice Draka. Fire Verde is next. She is not booked up, so maybe she's retired at this point in time because you have all of those Wukongs. So I'm not even going to bother with her. There's no point with all of these, not Wukongs, but all of these Shinobis that you have and Wukongs that you have down below. There's no point. But here is your first not Wukong. I keep want to call him Wukong. Your first Shinobi of many. Let's check out the enhancements real quick. So he's rocking HP flat, attack percentage, crit damage, defense percentage, and then HP percentage, as long as defense flat as well. Pretty dank. So this one's rocking crit rate with some 13% crit damage added to it and a little bit of attack percentage. The next up gem is an attack gem with a little bit of resist to it, 22% crit rate, which is pretty nice, and 13.5% defense. And then last but not least is an attack gem with 68% attack up there with 14.5% crit rate. So crit rate, attack, he's at what, 101% crit rate, and that's not counting enhancements because there's no crit rate up there. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I get some kudos here. Not the world's best build, but for what it is, boys, if it works, it works. And then this 4-star trinket over here does add him some attack, but 15.3% crit damage is pretty nice, and a little bit of resist right there. Then of course just a crit resist trinket as well. But let's move on over here to your fire Poseidon, who is on a ruin set. He also has enhancements, where his enhancements are HP percentage, attack flat, crit rate, crit damage, HP flat, and looks like you're working on the last slot. If not, you're just done with him for now, which is perfectly fine. But let's see what he's rocking with, because he's sitting at 67% crit rate right now, and he doesn't have a square slot. Not saying that he needs it, but why not get the most damage out of things if you can. But he has an HP gem with 18% crit rate up there, an attack gem with 13% crit rate and 10% crit damage, and then another attack gem with 17% crit rate, and everything else really isn't worth mentioning. So he's rocking HP attack. As a tank as well, you can definitely get away with that, because while his HP isn't super duper high, he is only Evo 2, and I mean, honestly, as long as he's surviving enough, especially with your healers and stuff on the left lane, then what does it matter? Why not squeeze a little bit more damage out of him, even though that attack stat is a tad bit low, but I'm no Titans expert by no means. Next up is your other Fire Shinobi, who is rocking 97% crit rate on a ruin set. That's going to be disgusting. For his enhancements though, he has a defense flat, some crit damage, some defense percentage, some max crit rate, so 12% crit rate up there, attack flat, and some HP percentage as well. Pretty solid. Like overall, pretty solid enhancements. I mean, obviously you want to work on the values, but in terms of what you rolled, that's exactly what I would want. For his gems though, he's rocking the attack gem with 17% HP up there. The rest really isn't worth mentioning in my opinion. Crit rate gem as normal. This one has 22% attack on it though. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And then a crit damage gem, and this one has 13% crit rate up there as well. I'm actually surprised to see a crit damage gem on him. I thought for sure that it was going to be attack, but I'm curious to see what his damage is, since he's rocking freaking 184% crit damage. Very interested to see how he performs. It's pretty cool though. Next up is your Fire Wukong though, who is your second one, I do believe, because the first one was on Leech set, and this dude already right off the bat has 100% crit rate and then 50% resist. Let's go over here to his enhancements. So he has defense percentage, attack flat, attack percentage, some crit rate action, HP percentage, and then some crit damage. Once again, good rolls in the enhancement department right there. But he's rocking the lovely crit rate gem, which is a common theme going on here, with 9% resist but 21% defense. This is a pretty fat sub. Some crit damage, and this one has 17% crit rate on there. Once again, that's pretty darn decent. And then an attack gem with some crit rate and also some defense. So 11.5% crit rate and then 16.5% defense. Pretty solid. So crit rate, crit damage, and then attack, if I remember correctly. Once again, very curious to see how he performs, because decent amount of crit damage. Not as much as your Shinobi, but still, as a debuffer, I mean, his main job though is to apply the defense down, and if he can get his freaking 5-star skill off, that's always wonderful as well. And then for the trinkets, nothing amazing right there. 16.5% crit damage on that trinket though, and 13% resist. It's pretty cool. And then once again, nothing amazing right there either, but you know, some added HP and defense, really, a little bit of attack. Moving on though to your, what is this, your third Fire Shinobi. This one, once again, is probably rocking crit rate attack, or crit rate attack crit damage, but we will find out. He's rocking some HP percentage, HP plus, which is the HP flat, recovery. I'm not sure why he has a recovery. Maybe it's like it's too late, I've already committed. And then attack percentage, HP flat, and then defense percentage as well. Overall, pretty decent. I mean, with 98% crit rate, why would you waste a slot in your enhancements for crit rate if he already is like not even 5% away from the max? Who would do such a thing? But he's rocking an attack gem with 21.5% crit rate, which is a nice sub. The next one up is a crit rate gem, of course, with a little bit of crit damage up there and a little bit of HP. And then a pretty decent crit damage gem in my opinion. 12.5% crit rate and 15% resist. Yeah, it's pretty darn solid. Pretty darn solid. You and your freaking Shinobis with this crit rate and crit damage action, dude. Shaking my head, dude. Just. And this attack, trinket right here has 16.7% crit damage up there. A little bit of resist. I don't think I'm gonna bother with the rest of these. Just the attack trinket, because everything else just isn't poggers, man. Next up is your fourth Fire Shinobi. And this one, let's take a look at the enhancements real quick. It's rocking crit damage, defense flat, attack flat, HP percentage, and then HP flat. And this one has 99% crit rate. Again, this dude is like the crit rate master apparently, but he's rocking another damn crit damage gem, dude. Another damn crit damage gem. I am disgusted. But this one has 14% crit rate up there, and then 8% resist. Next up is just the infamous crit rate gem with decent defense sub up there and some crit damage as well. 13% for both of those. And then the attack gem, which is rocking 20.5% crit rate. It's pretty solid, dude. Pretty darn solid. You and your Shinobis in this crit rate action, man. And this crit damage action. Then you also have a Wukong, but he's ungemmed at the moment, so maybe you're swapping gems or waiting for a better set. Not sure what's going on here. Let's take a peek at his enhancements real quick. Defense percentage, crit damage, attack percentage, attack flat, and then HP flat. So maybe he's a work in progress. Who knows, but it looks like at some point you're using him because he was level 60. And not only is he enhanced, but his stats aren't bad. Then there's your Pandora, but we've already covered one Pandora, and I don't want to make it too redundant, even though I looked at your Wukongs and your Shinobis. I just wanted to make sure none of them had any like super duper different builds that would give concerns to anything else. But for the rest of these mods right here, I'm just going to skip them because there's no point in talking about them if they're not used for anything. I mean, obviously Wukong can be used to be fed, or pretty much be fed, because you already have like what, 3 of those dudes? Yeah, you already have 3, unless you're going for 4 Wukongs, because you can never have too many. But let's go ahead and move on over here to the water ones next. Alright, next up is Water Sparket. He's rocking an intuition set, and he is sitting at a fat 104% for the crit rate. A little bit of resist up there, a little bit of enhancement, so I'm not sure if he's being used currently, because once again I can't remember the Titans teams. Let's see what we're working with here. So he has a crit damage sub for his enhancement, attack percentage, and then HP percentage. Maybe you're working on him and then you just got stuff better, so you were just like, get out of here, spark it. But let's take a look at his gems real quick. So he has an attack gem with 13% crit rate up there. He's rocking a crit rate gem, which should be obvious at this point in time, but nothing up there sub-wise that is amazing. And then an attack gem with 14% defense up there and 14% HP. Nothing else is really that amazing, but I mean, for his build, it's pretty common, and he's fully booked up as well, so maybe you were using him at some point, but I don't remember your Titans team, man. I can't remember everything, but he's pretty decent. Next up though is your Water Harley. So hopefully Water Harley can do some justice, because she is fully booked up and she's a great replacement, especially for Sparket in my opinion. But for enhancements, she has HP percentage, HP flat, attack percentage, and then defense flat, also some crit damage action up there as well. And she's rocking 98% crit rate. 98% crit rate. Obviously we have the infamous crit rate gem right there with 24% resist. It's a pretty nice sub. An attack gem with 20.5% crit rate up there, and then 12% crit damage. I'll take it. I'll take it. We take those. We take those. And then another attack gem with 13% crit rate up there, and then 14% crit damage. That's fine. I definitely like that other attack gem better though. If you can get your crit rate for your attack subs, I mean not for your attack gems, to go over 20 for your damn crit rate on your attack gems, that is actually a good day. And then for the trinket, let's take a look at this one. 16.3% crit damage up there, and then 11.12% resist. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. And she's rocking 62% resist as well as her 98% crit rate. It's pretty nice. And she's also variant. Kudos, dude. Kudos. And then we have your water, what's his name? Crowhook, which I'm assuming is used for the Nat 3 League. He's fully booked up, but as a Nat 3, it's really not a, big deal. He's rocking 95% crit rate, though. He also is rocking 71% resist. For his enhancements, he's rocking flat attack. He has some resist, some crit resist, and some attack percentage. Looks like he might be a work in progress, but I'm sure already he hits like 100% F word. But he's rocking an attack gem with 17% resist and then 13% crit rate. Another attack gem with 12% defense and then 17.5% crit rate. And then the infamous crit rate gem with 16% resist. Okay, pretty solid. Actually, pretty solid Crowhook in my opinion. Water Shelly's next. Not much to go into detail about here because Water Shelly's fully booked up and just used as a debuffer for Titans. Or actually Colossus as well if you need a mon that can do defense down reliably. HP gem with a little bit of crit rate right here and some defense. Another HP gem with some attack and some crit rate and a little bit of resist and a little bit of crit damage as well. And then a defense gem with some crit rate up there, but nothing worth mentioning sub-wise because his main purpose, especially with that HP defense, I believe, is just to do the defense down and nothing more. You don't want Predator, you just want him to do defense down. Then Wet Marie over here rocking her 84% resist. My goodness. She's fully booked up as well, but her HP gem right here contains a fat 23% resist and 15% defense. Her second HP gem rocks 18% resist. And then her last one rocks, again, 23% resist up there as well. And then 20% defense. That's actually pretty decent. I mean, she by no means is my favorite mon at all, especially as a passive healer because her HP is just piss poor. But if I was a user, I would have her built like this for whatever content that I was using her in. But you may no longer even use her because what is the point when you're as OP as Manaskin? We have Water Slime over here on a broken set though. He's not enhanced though. I mean, neither was Marie. It's mainly just Crowhook and then Harley that I saw so far. But she's on a broken set. Not she, but Slime itself is on a broken set with 60% resist. An HP gem with 13% resist and then 13.5% attack. A defense gem with 18% resist and then 13% crit rate. And then another defense gem with a little bit of resist, but 20.5% attack up there, which is pretty decent. But it is a slime, so it doesn't really contribute to much. When they're going to let us get them slime books back, I don't know. Water Siren over here in a broken set as well. She's rocking 70% resist. Really not sure where you use her at, dude. Really not sure. I mean, she's fully booked up. But hey, if it exists, why not gem it up? But she has a defense gem of 10% recovery. And then also 14% resist. And then 11% crit rate. An HP gem of 21% resist. And then 11% recovery. And then a recovery gem with 15% resist and then 22% crit rate. Pretty decent, dude. Even if you don't use her, still pretty decent. Your Water Katine is rocking that freaking 73% resist. Let's take a crack at what is giving it all that resist. So an HP gem, which you're rocking with 21% resist, 14.5% defense, and some recovery subs as well. A recovery gem with 18% resist. And then a defense gem with some more resist and HP subs up there as well. So once again, HP defense and recovery just to ensure that Katine does its job. Nothing wrong with that. And then we have Water Bulby over here who's fully booked up. And Water Bulby's rocking a defense gem with 13% resist and 13% crit rate. an attack gem with 12% defense, and then another attack gem with 15% resist up there, and then 12.5% defense. And then, okay, I thought one of them was crit reliant, but this one obviously isn't. And her main selling point, though, is just to be a great value wannabe courageous striker. I think I've only used my water Bulby only in one of the Colossi or whatever, and that's pretty much it. That may be where you use her at, which speaks for her investment in terms of gems, but it's Bulby, dude. It's Bulby. Next up, though, we have your water Hades over here, who is rocking 63% resist and then 95% crit rate. Let's take a look at his enhancements real quick, though. So he has resist, HP percentage, HP flat, attack percentage, and then attack flat. Pretty solid enhancements right there. He's rocking, boys, go ahead and guess it. Yep, he's rocking a crit rate gem with 14% resist and then 19.5% defense. An attack gem with 18% crit rate up there, and then 7% resist, and then 14% crit damage. And then he's doing it to us again, boys. He's doing it to us again. A damn crit damage gem, some crit rate up there. And I mean, honestly, freaking 95% crit rate. I have nothing to say. And then we just have an attack gem that adds some more crit damage and some more resist to water Hades. Pretty solid water Hades. Pretty solid. Next up is your Balrona, which... okay, one has a little bit more crit damage than the other, so I'm actually going to just look at this one. This one's rocking crit damage with 20.5% attack up there. 12% crit rate as well. Of course, the crit rate gem, nothing super duper amazing about that one, but that 19% attack percentage sub. And then the attack gem rocking 12.5% crit rate and then 13.5% defense. The old crit rate, crit damage, and then attack combo. For the enhancements, though, crit rate, attack percentage. There's a recovery gem up here, not recovery gem, but recovery sub, defense flat, attack flat, and some crit damage up there as well. Okay. Let's see what you're working with, though, with this trinket. So this one adds 15.6% crit damage and then 13.1% resist. Resist isn't super duper important, but overall, once again, that's pretty nice if you're sitting at 158% crit damage. And one thing that is important that you guys might have seen from Manaskin's account already is that if he's rocking a crit damage gem, he always has his mons so far with crit rate that is not abysmal. Because why are you running a mon with a crit damage gem that has literally no crit rate? It's pointless, absolutely pointless. You're wasting your time and you're making sure that your monster's damage is subpar. But Manaskin has done the 5-head tactic and made sure that his resist is pretty darn high if he's going to be using a crit damage gem. Next up is the Water Indy, though. He's rocking 40% resist and then 98% crit rate up there. These mons just have an incredible amount of damn crit rate up there, man. I am absolutely disgusted. But he has attack flat, attack percentage, defense defense flat, HP percentage, and then crit damage. And overall, looks like their rolls are pretty nice. I mean, not perfect, but pretty nice for what you got there. And he is on a broken set as well. Crit rate gem with 20.5% attack up there. Pretty solid sub. The attack gem has 19.5% crit rate up there. Once again, pretty solid. And then another crit damage gem with some defense of 13%. And then also a crit rate sub of 14% up there as well. Once again, pretty decent. Pretty decent, dude. We have your next Water Hades over here, though. He's rocking 99% crit rate, no surprise there, with 41% resist. Let's go over here to enhancements, though. For his enhancements, he has HP percentage, some resist, and then some attack flat, which is almost maxed out. Take a look at the trinket. We get 15.7% crit damage from there, and then 12% 50% resist, which is a big chunk of where his resist is coming from. And I wonder if you guys can guess what type of build he's rolling with. We're going to pause right here for a moment and see if you can guess. You guys done? Crit rate, nothing amazing with that sub right there. An attack gem with 14.5% crit rate, and then 20.5% defense. And then a crit damage gem with 20% crit rate up there. 20%, boys. If you said crit rate, attack, crit damage, you were correct. If you said crit rate, attack, crit damage, you were incorrect. Obviously, we know what it is. We know how mana works at this point. Next up is one of your water bags. Looks like you have two of those. But she's rocking 71% resist up there. And also has a couple of enhancements. Defense percentage, HP, and then some crit resist. And that HP flat is maxed out, dude. Congratulations. She has an HP gem with 15% resist up there. Everything else really isn't worth mentioning. Next up is a recovery gem with 19% resist. Pretty nice. And then another recovery gem with 13% defense and a little bit of resist up there. So overall, I mean, I think it's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good, dude. 71% resist, double recovery to make sure she does her job properly, and then obviously the HP gem to help with survivability. I think it's perfectly fine. And then your water Draco over here, rocking 70% resist. No enhancements on this one though. A defense gem with 13% crit rate up there, and then 15% resist. HP gem with 14% resist. Not amazing, but does get the job done. And then another HP gem with 21% resist and 12% defense. Okay. You are definitely getting the resist, that's for sure. And I mean, attack really isn't needed because double weaken is purely debuffer. I don't care if Draco says it's an attacker. With that kit, you're not an attacker in my opinion at all. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and skip the rest of these guys because we've already seen Bast. These other mines aren't level 50. Water Engine might be in the progress of being built, but he's gemless at the moment. So let's go ahead and move on to the wood ones next. Alright, next up is freaking Wood Yuki over here, rocking 50% resist up there. She is super evoed and fully booked up, and we can obviously tell already that I do remember that this one was definitely in the Titans lineup. So if you guys don't have a freaking Wood Yuki for the Titans lineup, you're missing out, dude. You're missing out. Let's take a look at her enhancements real quick, which she only has two at the moment though, which is HP flat and then defense percentage. And then she's rocking a defense gem with 16% resist. An HP gem, nothing really remarkable there at all. And then another HP gem with 12% defense and then 7% resist. Once again, nothing remarkable here, but she is on the left side and her main selling point is just to expose weakness and to survive, hence her HP defense. And that's it for her, dude. That is it. Wood Thor is coming up here next though. He is on a ruin set, fully enhanced, boys. Rocking 63% resist and also 96% crit rate. For his enhancements, he has HP percentage, attack percentage, defense percentage, crit damage, defense flat, and then also some resist. So he has a nice mix of everything to try and balance out his damage with also survivability. But rocking a ruin set, we know what he has up there. Attack gem with 18.5% crit rate, which is pretty darn decent. Crit rate gem with 20% crit damage up there. 20% crit damage, boys. It's pretty cool. And then another attack gem with 15% resist up there, 13% crit rate, and then 14% defense. Overall, pretty dank gem. I mean, the crit rate on it isn't that high, but considering how often ruined gems are just trash, because they're ruined gems, you get ruined because they're ruined, so you ruin the gems. But overall, pretty balanced, pretty solid. And then of course this one adds nearly 17% crit damage to his crit damage, and then 10.5% resist. Pretty darn cool. Next up though we have Pinolo here with his 70% resist and 67% crit rate. He has HP percentage, attack flat, HP flat, crit damage, defense flat, and then defense percentage. And they're all pretty balanced in terms of their levels, to be honest. There's nothing that's really super duper bad at all. But for his gems, he's rocking an attack gem with 12% resist up there, and then 20% crit rate. Then also another attack gem with 25% crit rate, boys. 25. And then also the infamous crit damage gem, boys. You knew it was coming. It's here. Congratulations. 12% crit rate up there, and then 18% resist. So pretty solid Pinolo. Decent amount of resist from right there, and an okay amount of crit damage as well. Pretty damn solid. Pretty damn solid. Wood Lupin over here. Main selling point is just a debuffer, of course. And he's rocking just a defense gem. Nothing remarkable on that gem. HP gem with 19% crit, not crit resist. 19% resist. I just saw that crit rate and resist, and my brain was like crit resist. And then 10.5% defense. And then another HP gem with, once again, nothing remarkable there, but 16% recovery, which isn't important as a debuffer. Moving on to the Phibians. They're both pretty similar as I expected. Fully booked up, of course, as a left side debuffer. But he's rocking an HP gem with 21% resist up there. Another HP gem with 16% resist. And then a defense gem with 18% attack, but not really important. So nothing amazing on this gem at all. But 65% resist up there. His main job, once again, is just to survive, which is why he's on, like, what was it, HP defense? Right? Yeah, HP defense, just for survivability. And a resist is there to ensure that he does his job. And that's pretty much it. That's what you do for Phibians, of course. So we'll skip the other one. We'll take a look at one of your mini cats, even though you have plenty, because he's an exposed weakness boy. Looks like this one is the best one out of the bunch. It looks like they're all fully booked up as well. And this mini cat is rocking HP gem with 15% crit. He almost has 15% crit rate, but 15% resist. And then the 14.5% crit rate, which really isn't important. Another gem over here, this defense gem has 21% recovery up there. The rest really isn't important. And then an HP gem once again with 13% resist, which is actually pretty amazing though if you consider that. I mean, 15 resist from right here, and then 6. He's getting his, okay, yep, he's got his resist from that freaking trinket. I was like, how does he have 47 so easy peasy, dude? He's pretty good though. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, it's amazing, it's the best thing in the world, but he's pretty good though. Next up is your Wood Hana, which obviously we'll just look at one and then skip the rest. Obviously the goal is to get her booked up, especially for her freaking attack down passive, to make that a little bit more reliable. But this one is rocking 77% resist on a conviction set. So she's rocking HP with 15.5% defense and then 12% resist. I had to burp, excuse me. Recovery gem with 11% resist. And then another HP gem, so HP recovery with 14% resist up there, and then 11.5 defense. That's what I like to see, man. That's what I like to see. All kinds of recovery action. All kinds. Let's take a look over here at the birdies, though. So there is a Wood Garuda over here. Let's take a look at his enhancements real quick after we take a look at his crit rate, which is 97%, and then 60% resist up there. For his enhancements though, he's rocking some crit damage, some resist, HP percentage, and then not HP percentage, but attack percentage as well. Sorry, I keep getting confused. This is just a lot of numbers and a lot of percentages right just back to back. Looks like you're in the process of booking that one, which you almost, oh man, it feels bad, man. He was one book away from hitting that 10% rate. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. But he's rocking a crit rate gem, which he's sitting at 97% crit rate. I'm not sure why he didn't just bump this up to 14%. Not 14%, but plus 14. Then an attack gem of 10.5% crit rate up there. And then another attack gem with 18.5% crit rate. A little bit of defense and a little bit of resist, but I mean 97% crit rate is already still mad good. Might as well just make the final push and just top her off, man. Then this attack gem adds 14.5% crit damage and then 12.6% resist. So it looks like a lot of this resist is coming from your trinkets, even though 13% in theory isn't actually, in actuality, isn't a lot. When you combine it with all the other subs, it does matter at some point in time. Then your wood Enkidu, aka the wood trap over here at Evo 2, has a defense percentage enhancement, as well as some crit damage, crit rate, defense flat, and then HP percentage. And then he's rocking a crit damage gem with 16.5% crit rate and then 11% attack. An attack gem of 21% defense and then 20% crit rate. And then another attack gem with 24% crit rate, boys. 24%. And what is this? 78% crit rate? It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then let's go over here to the other one, though, who is on an intuition set. Check out his enhancements real quick. Looks like it's very, very similar to the other Enkidu, which, of course, you want to make sure that he survives, but can also do damage. That is the point and reason why he's built this way. But he's rocking an attack gem with 13% resist and then 18.5% crit rate. Another attack gem with 13.5% crit rate up there. A little bit of crit damage and resist. And then last but not least is a damn crit damage gem with 18% crit rate, boys. And then 11.5% defense. So literally at 80%, dude is rocking attack crit damage. Obviously, is his damage going to be lower than what it is when he doesn't crit? Yes, but when he crits, which he hopefully has a very, very high chance of critting, it's going to do some damage. It's going to do some damage. 80% crit rate and then 65% resist on attack crit damage, especially for an RGB. Had to make sure you guys could see that. And then your other bird over here, he's on an intuition set as well. A couple of enhancements, defense percentage, resist, and then attack flat. And then for his trinket, he has 17% crit damage up there, as well as 10.1% resist. He's rocking a crit damage gem with 18.5% attack and then 12.5% resist. These dudes are mean, man. These dudes are mean. A crit rate gem with 19.5% defense and then 13% attack. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then also an attack gem with 17% crit rate up there. It's pretty... Once again, it's pretty damn solid considering, you know, I mean, he does have the crit rate gem right there, but it's pretty solid. Especially as a left lane, this isn't a right lane boy. I'll take it. I'll take it. We're going to skip over the rest though because we've seen the Hanas. There's nothing really to talk about more of the Hanas. Tails isn't even at level 60, and then we've already seen the Enkidu, which this one might have just gotten pulled recently and is just a work in progress. But let's move on to the light mons next. Alright, we are coming to an end here, boys. Let's go ahead and take a look at this freaking Light Yuki. So Light Yuki over here is rocking 107% crit rate and 26% resist. Not 21% resist, but that's crit resist. But let's take a look at her enhancements real quick. So she's rocking an attack flat, defense percentage, attack percentage, crit rate, HP flat, and then some crit damage as well. Pretty nice enhancements. I mean, obviously they're a work in progress, but for what you've rolled into, it works out, man. And for the trinket, of course, 18.1% crit damage and then 13.4% resist. That's a damn good trinket, boys. A damn good trinket. But she's rocking a crit rate gem with 18.5% defense and then 13% resist. Attack gem with 13.5% crit rate up there and then 14% HP percent as well. Pretty decent. And then another attack gem with 13% crit rate up there and then also 17.5% resist. Crit rate attack, especially on Ruin. I'm sure she hits like a truck, dude. That crit damage has to be pretty solid, and I mean it's easier to raise her up, especially with max crit of her being a light type, and then she's not only fully booked up, but she's super evolved as well. So pretty darn nice for light Yuki. Next up though is your light Nike, who's rocking 63% resist up here. She's fully booked up and super evolved as well, but with no trinkets up here. Maybe she's just currently not in use, but let's check her out real quick. She has a defense gem up there of 18% resist, another defense gem with 17% resist and a little bit of crit rate, and then another defense gem of 28% resist, boys. 28%. It gets no better than that, man. But it looks like she might be retired. That's my assumption, which there's nothing wrong with that. Then we have your first light sig, which I'm sure you're working on another. But this light sig has 97% crit rate up there and 11% resist. Let's take a look at his enhancements first. So HP percentage, defense flat, HP flat, HP percentage, attack percentage, and then some crit rate as well. Works out, dude. Works out. The main thing though is while he's going to do damage, you want to make sure he can survive as much as he can so he can continue to do more damage. Even if it's for one extra turn, that's one extra turn of some more damage. And he is on a flat attack set. I'm not sure how that worked out, but it did. His trinket over here though, with its 666 attack, is almost at 18% crit damage added to him, as well as 11.1% resist. But for his attack gem, he's rocking 28% crit rate, boys. 28%. The next one though, of course, Manaskin over here, hitting dudes with the crit damage gems all day, every day. 14% crit rate, and then 18.5% defense. And then last but not least is another attack gem with 27.5% crit rate, dude. My God, have they given you all kinds of crit rate? No wonder why you just kept the set. You're just like, dude, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna keep the set because I literally don't even have a crit rate gem on this dude, and I have some fat crit rate subs up there. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Next up though is one out of two light Wendigos here. This light Wendigo is rocking 99% crit rate, a little bit of resist up there. Let's take a look at his enhancements though. So HP percentage, HP flat, attack percentage, crit damage, and then defense percentage as well. Gotta have that crit damage, man. You can't go wrong with crit damage. And of course he gets more crit damage from the trinket over here at 17.4% and then 8% resist. And this dude is on intuition set, rocking some 20% resist and 20% not resist, 20% crit rate, guys. 20% crit rate. We're like an hour in, man. And then 20% defense as well on that attack gem. The other gem is another attack gem, rocking 11% crit damage and then 20% crit rate. And then last but not least, of course, Manaskin. He has to do it to us again. This damn crit damage gem of 19% crit rate. Alright, dude. Alright. I see you, man. I see you. He's rocking a very similar build on this one, but this one has way more resist than the other one, while this one's fully booked up. Is this one like a work in progress? Because he's not booked up. He does have some trinkets on him, but let's take a look at his gems real quick. So this one has an attack gem, which is rocking 15% crit rate and then 24% resist. Another crit damage gem with some crit rate up there of 14% and then 16% resist. And then a crit rate gem with 24% resist up there as well. Overall, the resist up there is pretty darn nice. I'm curious to see what you're doing with that one. Light Pinolo, maybe you're using him for the Nat 3 League. That's my only assumption, because that would be the only place he would fit in. He's not crit dependent, but you went ahead and just gave him max crit. But he's rocking an attack gem with 14% resist, 13% crit rate, and then 15% defense. Crit rate gem with 13% resist. And then an HP gem with 18.5% attack up there, and then 12.5% crit rate as well. Next up is the Baby Sharks, which we're just going to review one. If not, this is going to take all of eternity. For Baby Shark, this one is rocking freaking 77% resist, fully booked up, fully decked out with the trinkets, boys. One enhancement for some more resist. And for its gems, it has a defense gem with 25% recovery up there. An HP gem with 13% defense and then 12% resist. And then another HP gem with some resist and then some recovery, as well as 12.5% attack. Because why not, dude? So fat amount of recovery coming from subs and a decent amount of resist as well. Pretty good baby shark. That's the type of baby shark, boys, you want to see and that you want to build. So do take notes from this video of your Mon builds, especially if you're doing Titans and stuff like that, because Manaskin has proven to be a very good person that you can compare to see what you're working with right there. But we get some more crit damage right here, though I'm not sure why I'm looking at this because it's baby shark, but who knows. Light Miho over here is rocking 56% resist, and she's fully booked up, but she's not super evolved at the moment. She doesn't have any trinkets on her, so I'm just assuming that she's just there at the moment chilling. Light Mildew, once again, I mean, he has some resist up on him. He has 71%. We can take a look at his gems because he's fully booked up as well. He's rocking an HP gem over here with 13.5% attack and then 14% resist. Another HP gem with 12.5% attack and then 15% resist. And then another HP gem with 12% resist and then 12% crit damage as well. But the crit damage doesn't really matter. And I had to make sure, with the adrenaline, he's just making sure that Mildew can actually do his job, which is why he has all the HP. Light Marie over here, which is essentially now just a great value version of Nike. Before Nike got her super evolution, Light Marie was superior, but now since Light Nike does have her super evolution, obviously Light Marie has taken a step back, but she's still usable, especially in World Boss, or if you just like the way Marie looks. But this one, of course, is fully booked out, and coming in with 38% resist. For her defense gem, she's rocking 13.5% crit rate, 10% crit damage, and then 8% resist. She also has another defense gem, which she should be triple defense, with 13% resist up there, and then 10% crit damage. And then she has a crit rate gem up there with 17% resist and recovery of 13.5%. Really didn't expect her to be rocking crit rate damage, but that explains how she has 95% crit rate. I'm not a big fan of having crit rate gems on my aggressors, but I'm nothing more than a casual at best, so it is what it is. Light Verde, who's rocking 60% resist. She's not booked up at all. Maybe she was used at some point in time, or maybe she's fine how she is. But she's rocking a defense gem with 18.5% recovery, 26% resist up there as well. Next up is another HP gem of 18% resist and then 12% defense, as well as 12.5% attack. And then a defense gem going full on, making sure that we don't die ever. 16% resist and then 12.5% attack up there. Light Thor, really not going to get into him. You also have a third Light Wendigo and a second Light Yuki in the works, dude. That is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Alright, last but not least, we have the Dark Mons here. We're starting off strong here with Dark Sea Star, who's fully booked out and, of course, super evolved as well. And she's rocking 36% resist and then 103 crit rate. For her gems, though, she has a defense gem with 26% crit rate up there. 26. Damn good. Another defense gem with 13% crit rate up there and then 14% resist. And of course, a crit rate gem with 15% resist up there. That's pretty good though. If you're rocking crit rate defense, or crit rate HP on an aggressor, I would recommend that you do have max crit rate, or if not, it's just pointless. But you do have max crit rate, so I have no complaints there, man. And of course, because attack stats do nothing, even though they could add some more crit damage to her, she just has, looks like, some placeholder trinkets on her at the moment. Next up, though, we have Dark Mandy over here with her 103% resist. She does have enhancements as well. HP flat, attack percentage, some crit rate, and then also defense flat. And she's close, very close to a full-on ruin set, which is going to be absolutely vile and disgusting, especially with her fully booked up in terms of damage. But she has an attack gem right here with 13% crit rate. Another attack gem with 14% crit rate and 7% crit damage. And then a crit rate gem with 19.5% defense. And then 7% crit damage. So if he can get her fully on Ruin, boys, we're in the end game. Next up though is your Gatito, your Dark Gatito, who's fully booked as he should be with his 97% crit rate and then 23% resist. His attack gem is rocking 17% crit damage and then 7% resist, as well as his next attack gem rocking 12.5% crit rate and then a crit rate gem, of course, with some resist up there as well. That's fine. Nothing amazing, but it'll definitely get the job done. Dark Sandwraith over here, who is fully decked out. Dude is fully booked on decked. He has all kinds of freaking trinkets as well. For his attack gem though, he has 13.5% crit rate up there and then 14% resist, as well as 11% crit damage. A crit rate gem, of course, even though he's dark type and doesn't require crit, if you can give him crit without hurting anything else from him, which obviously with Persevere it's not going to hurt anything, you can do that and it works out perfectly fine. And then he has an HP gem just to give him a little bit more robustness when he's attacking, so he can hopefully survive for his SP Siphon. And of course he'll let Persevere build up, and this one is rocking 14.5% crit rate up there as well. But he's sitting at 92% crit rate and then 35% resist. Pretty solid. And this trinket right here has 15.5% crit damage and then 9.1% resist. Pretty solid. Dark Marie, who I'm actually building up myself just for the world boss. You do have her booked out as well, but I'm assuming that you're using her for the world boss as well, which isn't a bad idea. But she's rocking 97% crit rate and then 22% resist. For her enhancements, she has crit damage, defense percentage, attack percentage, and then attack flat. She has an attack gem with 13.5% crit rate and then 14.5% defense. An HP gem with 19.5% crit rate and then 17% attack. And then a crit rate gem with 14% resist. I'm curious though why she isn't built more attacker-like. Is this just the gems that you could get around for her for right now, just to give her something? Because I'm not even sure where you're using her at. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but just curious. I mean, Battle Rush, she can heal herself, but just curious. Dark Sila over here rocking 98% resist, 98% crit rate, and then 66% resist. Your boy's running out of stamina here, man. He has attack percentage, HP percentage, and then some crit rate as well. And this trinket over here adds in an additional 13% crit damage, and then 12.7% resist. And for the attack gem has 11.5% crit rate, and then 20% resist. A crit rate gem with 20% resist, which is where all that godly resist is coming from. And then a crit damage gem with 13.5% crit rate and then 13% resist. I'm not sure how, but I keep getting like surprise Pikachu every time I see these mons with damn crit damage gems up there. I'm just not sure how. I've seen 85 of them, and every time I see one, I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Dark Phibian over here, who is not booked up, boys. Not booked up. That is bad news bears, Mana. We are no longer friends. You're no longer my favorite MSO YouTuber when you do upload videos, because you're doing my boy Dark Phib wrong. You're doing him wrong, man. Just straight up wrong. But he's rocking 96% resist on a intuition set, as well as 33% resist. I think I said resist again. He's rocking 96% crit rate and then 33% resist. I keep getting those like tied together in my brain. But he has a crit rate gem up there with nothing amazing in terms of subs. An attack gem with 19% resist. And then HP gem with nothing up there that's super duper amazing either. Maybe Dark Phibian's just retired. Not hating on that, man. But if you're going to use him, man, at least get the boy booked up and just fling him over there in World Boss, man. Fling him right over there in World Boss. Dark Cupid over here, who is on his way to getting fully booked up, or at least for his recovery for his shield. That seems to be the goal right here. But he is rocking 85% resist and has an additional, we're going to just go ahead and say 100k HP added to him. But for his enhancements, he has a recovery, because obviously you want that shield to come up and you want him to do his job properly with that shield. Some crit resist, HP percentage, and then some recovery percentage as well. That's pretty much all that you need, to be honest. And then he has an HP gem with 14% resist. Crit rate doesn't really matter, even though he's a dark type. His next HP gem has 17% resist up there. And then his last HP gem also has 17% resist. It's pretty darn nice. Pretty darn nice. Your Dark Snow White, she's rocking 99% crit rate, and she's not booked up at all either, so I'm not really sure if you're using her at the moment. But she has an attack gem with 14% crit rate up there. Another attack gem with 21% crit rate. And then a crit rate gem. Pretty standard. I mean, just to get as much benefit out of her attack wise as you can, especially since her 3-star skill is Hunter. She needs that max crit for that to work. Dark Tina, who we saw earlier in the video, let's take a look at her enhancements. She has crit damage, attack flat, HP flat, and then crit rate as well. Damn, dude. Damn. Almost 24 for that crit damage. That's pretty nice. But 100% crit rate and then 31% resist. And she is on SP Siphon set as well. We also get an additional 16% crit damage added to her, as well as almost 13% resist. But she's rocking an attack gem, which has 20% crit rate up there. Absolutely nasty. A crit rate gem with 13.5% defense. And then another attack gem with only 7% crit rate up there. Not a big deal. But 18% resist as well. And she's still sitting at 100 crit rate. It is very, very difficult to get a proper Siphon set. It is very, very difficult. So I give kudos to you about that, Mana. And she, of course, is fully booked up as well, which by no means that's the way to go. This is a wave clear. She needs to be fully booked up for maximum potential and maximum damage. And she is. Dark Thor over here, who's rocking 45% resist and then 98% crit rate. We can take a look at him real quick. For his crit rate gem, he has 16% resist, as well as an attack gem up there with 14% resist, and then another attack gem with 15% resist. I'm assuming he might be retired though, because Dark Thor isn't bad. He's just so squishy, which makes him unappealing, which then makes him bad. That's the problem with Dark Thor. He's just a squishy boy, but he definitely helped me out in the PvE mid game as I was getting up there. Dark Bulby over here with 47% resist and her double exposed weakness. She has HP gem on her with 17% resist, defense gem with 24% resist, and then an HP gem with 6% resist up there, as well as 13.5% defense. Let's take a look at her enhancements. Just HP percentage and defense percentage, because her main job right here is just to make sure she get her exposed weaknesses off and that nothing prevents her from doing that. So it is what it is, boys. Dark Sparkit with 59% resist. I'm just going to skip him. Doesn't really look like there's too much investment in him, especially since he's not booked up either. Dark Katine, who you've built up, who has 73% resist, which I can understand because he's fairly new and his kit is actually pretty solid. For his gems though, he's rocking an HP gem with 18% resist and nothing else worth mentioning. A defense gem with 13% resist. And then another defense gem with 12% resist, as well as 9% HP. And no trinkets on him at all, but he is fully booked up, and I'm sure you're actually putting him to good use. We have an Evo 2 Shadow over here, who is sitting at 96% resist. Who's sitting at 96% crit rate and 42% resist. And he's rocking an attack gem of 19% crit rate. He has a crit rate gem up there as well that has 10% crit damage and then 15% resist. And also an attack gem with 13% crit rate and then 9% resist up there as well. So attack, crit rate, and then attack. So he's going full on glass with the Shadow, but with almost max crit rate up there. His damage should be pretty solid, and Shadow overall is a pretty decent mon. It looks like you got one shadow bucket and you're like, dude, let's go for it. Let's go for it. So small damage boost to Battle Rush, not a big deal, but it is what it is. He also has no enhancements, but his trinket does add in 13.4% crit damage as well as 12.1% resist up there. You have two Evo 2 Venuses, so we're going to take a look at one. We'll take a look at this one. But for enhancements, though, she has recovery flat, HP flat, recovery percentage, and then defense flat. As well as her trinket over here, adding in 15.6% crit damage and then 10.5% resist. And let's take a look at her gems because she does have max resist at the moment. Her HP gem adds in 15% resist, some attack and crit rate, but that's not really important. A defense gem that adds in additional 15% resist. And then a recovery gem, which adds in 15% resist once again. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Dark Xiaoujin, which it looks like you just pulled recently because he's just in the progress. He's still Evo 1, so maybe you got him through Clans Festival. If you did, man, congratulations. If you didn't, once again, congratulations. He has no enhancements or anything either. But he's rocking an attack gem with 21% crit rate as well as 13.5% defense. Another attack gem with 27.5% crit rate, boys. And then also another attack gem with 26.5% crit rate. So, was that triple attack? Maybe these are just placeholders, obviously, because of the, Actually, no, they're not placeholders. What are you scheming here, Mana? What are you scheming? You're trying to get max attack with triple crit rate? Or are you waiting on better gems? Because you're definitely going to get some damage out of him, especially with some trinkets added to him, and once he gets enhanced and leveled up, obviously, and fully evolved. What are you planning here, man? Very, very curious with that. Looks like you also got a Dark Wild Fang, dude, and no square stop, but not a super big deal because of Stalker, but congratulations, dude. Let's go over here, though, and take a quick peek at what he has in a box, which is nothing. He has some slimes, some Xiaoujins, 2 holy gleams, and some gleams as well, boys. But overall, your mod box is damn clean. It is way cleaner than mine. Way cleaner than mine. I probably need to go through my box, honestly, and take out what I don't need. But with so many Titans teams, it's just so difficult for me to figure out what I'm using and what I'm not using. But that's it, boys, for the Manaskin full account review. Very, very lengthy video. But I definitely hope you guys have learned a lot, especially if you're trying to get good in Titans, because once again, Manaskin is a great example of how you should build your mons, even if you're not doing Titans. If there's some type of content that you're doing, like even Golems, take a look at his Drakus, take a look at his Tina, and get a better perspective of what you could do to improve your account. But shout out to Manaskin for allowing me to do this lengthy review. Once again, I only do these reviews if you're over the level of 55 in the game, which tells me that you've invested quite a lot of time into the game, and you should have mons that are worthy of an hour-long video to show off to other people. But yeah, guys, if you want an account review done, you have to join the Discord. That's the only way to qualify for it. And unfortunately, I can't do anything iPhone related or Apple related because I don't think an Apple emulator out there exists. And I don't have an iPhone or any way to do anything like that. But if you want to just message me your box, I can give you an idea what to work on. But this video has gone on long enough, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.